What's your first name? JJ. I'm Jami Lin. This is Cherise and Randy. And I'm really very glad you're here. And I want you to know that we are going to talk about galactic superpower today. And the blurb that was written was not really the blurb that I should have written, but I want to thank you for your intuitive genius and your synchronistic genius. And I just want you to drop into that feeling right now. I welcome, let's affirm, I welcome my synchronistic and intuitive genius to be at the right place at the right time. Y'all want to come forward, please? I love getting cuddles from there, and the closer you are, the more I can love on you. Oh my gosh, these are my superstars. Thank you guys so much. So the blurb really, so for what you read, I want to say thank you again for trusting your intuition, for showing up right now, because the blurb does not really define what we're doing today. We're going to do 4 things, and I need my glasses to help me through this, and the bullets. 1, we're going to discover your galactic birthrights and your superpower into 5th dimensional evolutionary consciousness. How does that feel? Doesn't matter. Trust that you're here, because let's define it. Speak English. Okay. I love this. This is my coming out of the box party. I'm an award-winning mind-body spiritual author. I've taught all over the world. I'm a feng shui master. I practice on myself now. I don't really practice on others anymore because I've moved into Galactic Spirit. So I thank you for helping me get to a place of chunking this evolutionary work down so people can understand it. A little bit about me. I have 7 books. This is not one of my books. This is by Master Stephen Skinner, and I am featured in this book, which I'm really proud. I didn't bring all my books because I'm into Galactic Spirit right now, and I hope you will be too. But it's from 221 BC to 2012. That is over 2,000 years, and I'm featured in this book based upon my work. This is probably one of one of the books that I'm most proud of, because it's like somebody, when somebody tells you that you know what you're talking about, then it's really better than when you say what I know about. So what are these evolutionary birthrights that we're talking about that we want to know? Step 1. And I don't know how we're going to go this, so I'm just going to go with the flow, okay? We're just going to stream of consciousness, which is all about a beautiful experience that I just had a few minutes ago, which I want to explain to you, because it's part of it. And by the way, don't worry, I always come back. I'm a Gemini. It's like, ooh, and I'm galactic, so I go out there, but I always come back. I never forget. Trust me. Don't you hate it when people say trust you? Okay. The magic moment I had today, I was downstairs, and there was a girl doing readings down there, and she has this beautiful, like Hindu-looking Ouija board. I didn't know it was a Ouija board, but she says I douse and I spell out words and so on. And all of a sudden, she says, I said, so what do you have for me? And she starts spelling out the word. She starts spelling out a word, and the first letter was T. I said, I don't need any more. What was the word? Trust. Second letter came up and was R. I said, we're done. What's the point? That I am so thrilled that you are here, and I'm trusting my intuition, and I want you to trust your intuition, which is one of your galactic birthrights. There are 20 of them. Wouldn't it be cool? And I'm going to step back as I put one of my posters on the board. But wouldn't it be cool? Here is the birthright of human. What does galactic human mean? It means step into your sovereignty. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Know that you are bigger than you are. And what is 5th dimensional consciousness? I wrote it right here on the paper. We are are stepping into a place in human evolution that we don't even know where we are yet. Bullet, and I don't know how I'm going here, but bullet number 4 says, and there's only 4, I told you there's 4 points, it says, what did the indigenous star people teach us? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's okay, I'll come back. The indigenous prophecy, the native, do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. Whew, I'm all over the place already. Yes, ma'am. There's so much truth.
We're more than a physical body or a spiritual body, and we come from the stars.
Did everybody hear that? I'm going to repeat it so the video can hear it. We are more than a physical body. We are from the stars. Hello, Pamela. Alice, Pamela. But we don't know that yet. Charisse knows that. When we, I don't know, I'm not going to follow this. Unless I get stuck. When we were monkeys, before we evolved into Homo erectus, we were monkeys, and we were allowing evolution to do its own thing because we didn't think about it. Today is a new day according to indigenous prophecy from the Native Americans, from the ancient Chinese, from the ancient Mayans, which is part of where this word comes from. We're the ancient Canadians, we're the ancient star people who looked at the constellations in the heavens and said, there is something beyond. Am I too close?
No, just too loud.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, it's okay. It's fine.
I get excited.
I know you got people behind you that have to hear.
Thank you, loved one.
You're welcome.
There's something beyond what we know. So here we're being monkeys, and all of a sudden we're standing up, and then these ancient star people said, oh, what is happening with these constellations? What is happening beyond ourselves? Now, I don't want to talk too much about the ancients. I want to talk about now, because what's happened now is, for the prophecies started kicking in 2012, saying, we have our own brain. We have our own minds. And now neurological science has done studies that when these studies fire up, and they looking at the brain with all the probes and stuff, what does enlightenment mean? It's neurological science based upon indigenous prophecy. I'm pulling it together. Doing my best anyway. What happens when they look at those brain scans? When you have an aha moment. Anybody have an aha moment? Y'all know what that is? Give me a yes. Thank you. An aha moment means your brain, if you were tapped into one of these probes and reading the brain and scans, your frontal lobe would light up. When you have an aha moment, your frontal lobe lights up. That is what's called enlightenment. And science has proved what it was. And where did it come from, Charisse? It came from the knowledge from the star people and ancient aliens, since Charisse brought it up, where we were seeded by people who evolved beyond what the earth was capable while we were monkeys, and we've stepped into this time and space. I have no idea what I just did. I'm channeling this information, trying to pull this all together. Is everybody with me? Ah, very good. Thank you, sir. So, item number 2, where does this information come from? This star-seeded information that the indigenous people saw as they were tilling their farms and learning how to harvest and being one with the earth, looking at heaven and seeing the Pleiadian star system twinkle above all else. We're going to bring it down to earth and why this is important for you in a second. I jumped to 2 because, what's your name? Because Lori made me. We're in number 2, Lori. We got to go back to number 1, and it's okay. And number 1 is all what about, well, number 1 is what is this going to do for you and why do I care? That's what number 1's about. So, anybody heard of the star Sirius? Sirius. Heck yeah. Did you know that Sirius is the dog star? In Galactic Spirit, the dog energy is the birthright of love above all else, unconditional acceptance. Would y'all like more love and unconditional acceptance? What will it do for me and why do I care? That's one answer. Human, we already talked about that one a little bit. Step into your sovereignty, be wise, trust your intuition and your self-worth. That's another one. How does that feel? Doesn't matter how confident we are standing naked in front of a video camera and people. It doesn't matter. We still have those issues. Right? Because it's genetic. It's within us because we've been conditioned that way. What Galactic Spirit is, it's a method of stepping into higher consciousness by conditioning your mind with your birthrights that come from beyond ourselves. How did I do? Just feel that for a sec. And when you have, what?
Cirrus.
Sirius, thank you.
You're
That's
welcome.
my lovely husband who always keeps me on track, make sure I'm fed. I don't do that very well. I don't do earthly things very well, and the more galactic I get, the worse I get at that stuff. Sirius. Sirius is the dog star. When you look at the constellation of Sirius, it makes the dog. How cool is that? And Sirius is the anchor star for the Pleiades. And it's 25% bigger than our sun. And where does this come from? Where does the galactic come from? Even though Cherise helped us with that already. See, I told you I do worse with Earth stuff. It's 25% larger than our sun and the center of our known galaxy, where it is said that all this information came from to bring it down to us today. So here, if we were monkeys, when we were monkeys, and now in 2021, look at the numerology of that, 2-1. The prophecy shifted in 2012, 1, 2, 2, 1. The indigenous people said in 2012, Hollywood said the earth was going to blow up, yeah? But it didn't. What happened was it did in a way. It transitioned from one set of consciousness to another set of consciousness, and in the past 11 years, magic master number, have you noticed how people are starting to think differently? Wake up. There might be a little bit more duality in the world. I'll explain that in a second. But consciousness is evolving. Does that make sense? And does this make sense that for the first time in human consciousness, we can use the power of our mind to think differently? Oh, I'm really bummed out. Oh, God, I'm going to have such a bad day. You can buy into that crap and have a bad day. Or through the power, you've been there, yeah? Or through the power of your mind, you can say, no, stop it. I want to take the power of dog. We already talked about it. What does it mean? Unconditional love, love for yourself, self-acceptance, self-love. And we already talked about human. Self-worth. Accept self-worth. Self-worth, what is it? Self-worth, that's good enough for now. I'm not going to have a bad day anymore. I'm going to step in, I'm going to command on demand these two birthrights, and I'm going to take the power of my mind and flip my consciousness. I'm not going to have a bad day anymore. I love myself. I'm going to bring in the power of dog, the galactic power of dog, one of your birthrights. And I am going to shift my consciousness into having a great day. And I'm going to power through it. And ultimately, whistle while you work. Whatever that stuff that was plaguing you before, you get over it, right? Because the power of your mind, and not until 2012 was the power of our minds as profound as it is now, where we can step into our own sovereignty and change the narrative with the dialogue that's happening in our head. Our brains are getting more powerful. And what is happening according to the Indigenous prophecy, look how I just tied that together. I always have a finger. According to the Indigenous prophecy, our minds are now waking up to the dormancy that the ancient star people, you want to call them Pleiadians, you want to call them ancient aliens, I don't care what we call them. I don't care if we even want to go there, because it's weird and I love it. The power of our minds through neurological science has proven that our thinking capacity is waking up to our shift in evolutionary consciousness. What the scientists have discovered is all the stuff in our DNA, those empty spaces in our DNA, they're not empty at all. There's not empty in the sky at all, in the galaxy at all. You look in the sky and you see black. You think it's empty, it's not empty. It's bazillions and gazillions of stars. You go micro down into our DNA. All the empty that scientists have always said were the empties in our DNA is not empty at all. That's the dormant superpower of us stepping into our next phase of human consciousness. Are we good? Everybody good? That's where it comes from. That's what it is. Now, I'm going to go back to number one. What is this going to do for me and why do I care? Is everybody good? There are 20 galactic birthrights. This teaching comes from the law of time, but I've combined it with this neurological science that we just talked about, our neuroplasticity of our brains, the science of understanding DNA and quantum physics. I've mushed it all together, and now I'm going to bring it down. What will this do for me, and why do I care? The 20 birthrights are all energies that we aspire to. Love above all else, right? I'm going to go to the wheel to help me out, to Sherry, what these are. And you have one dominant energy. You have one dominant superpower. I'm going to go to the wheel to help us, okay? By the end of today, I'm going to give you a way for you to know what your dominant superpower is, your galactic superpower, which is so profound, by which all of the other 20 superpowers build. And what do you think you get when you start paying attention to all the superpowers? What do you think you get?
Abundance.
A lot of energy. Okay, good, very good. What else?
Abundance.
Abundance of what?
Well, good things, health.
Very good. How about multi-dimensional consciousness? Okay, you are right, but abundance of multi-dimensional consciousness. So as we go around this wheel, I'm so sorry it's so far. If you guys need to come closer, we can stand up and look. It's okay by me. But my superpower, let me start with my superpower because I know me the best. before I know, because I'm just meeting you guys for the first time. Here's my superpower here. It's called serpent. Serpent's got a really bad rap, by the way, through Judeo-Christian mythology. The serpent, according to the Mayan tradition, it's all about the initiate. I have not only been initiated, but I am a catalyst to initiate you into you developing your superpower. I'm right on time. And once you learn your superpower, which you will before the end of the day, you're going to see how you relate to specifically to your superpower, and how when you pay attention to all of the other superpowers, you step into what? Multi-dimensional abundance and stepping into a higher state of consciousness. Everybody in this room is one of these glyphs, superpowers. I'm not going to mess with it because it'll come down. I know better. I'm kind of anal retentive. It's like, oh, it's not perfect. Okay, live with it. I didn't say super was about not having ADD or being, what's the word? OCD. It's not perfect. All right. You know, we all have our limitations, like we talked about our worthiness before. Okay, so serpent. But wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be? I'm not going to go this way. I'm going to go this way because we're going to end here because this is relates to now. Wouldn't it be nice to have the ultimate surrender to not allow any of our karma to think it plays a part of who we are? Does anyone know the work of Cryon? Brilliant. You know what they say, this energy from a higher mind, from a multidimensional reality, they come down, he's a brilliant channel of 30 years. He says, you want to get rid of your karma? Anybody want to get rid of your karma? I'll tell you how to do it. I'm done. The power of your mind. What are we talking about? We're talking about the power of your mind. Oh God, my karma has me, and my genetic disposition, and my bloodline, and no. You don't have to do that. You don't. Oh, I love World Bridger. World Bridger is letting go of any belief system that is not in accordance with what you want. What is that going to do with me, and why do I care? Is World Bridger good? Uh-oh, I have to wrap it up. Let's go quick. I'm going to show you. Hand, intuitive knowing. I'm going to do this quick because we only have a little bit of time, and I'm so excited I could share with you for months. Intuitive knowing. Star. Seeing the beauty way. The Native Americans talk about the beauty way. Star is all about fifth dimensional sensory perception. Moon. Getting rid of. We talked about this. Fluid transcendence. Get rid of unproductive thought and emotion. Would we want all of those things? A dog, we talked about it. Monkey, magic, play, and joy. Human, we talked about it. Skywalker. Oh, I love Skywalker. Traveling into the unknown. Monkeys didn't know that they were going to stand upright, nor did they think about it. We, for the first time in human consciousness, I'm repeating myself on purpose, are stepping into fifth dimensional consciousness where we are seeing things differently. Possibly we only got a glimpse in an intuitive blast, in an aha moment, in a meditation, in dream time. Before there was a cell phone and Captain Kirk said, "Beam me up, Scotty," nobody knew what a cell phone was. Skywalker, one of the 5 galactic birthrights, is all, oh, don't look, is all, oh, Jamie, don't look. It's all about, I'm going to have to take it down because it's going to make me crazy. What did I tell you? Get rid of your karma. Get rid of your perfectionism. Do it. through the power of your mind. Perfect example. Skywalker, so here we are. We don't know about cell phones. We don't know what we don't know because we haven't experienced yet other than little glimpses. Skywalker is all about that fifth dimensional consciousness that we don't know yet. Oh, it's so exciting. So each one of these, and how much time do I have? What time is it? We have to, what? It's over. It's over. What time does the next one start? Oh, hurry up. 12:40. So it's how much time do I have? I'm confused. Okay, figure it out.
It's 11:57.
Yeah, but I can't do it that way. You know, I told you I don't do very good with earthly things anymore. Okay, so, oh shoot, should have had a time person. Okay, so each one of the, oh God.
If you have until 12:40, then you have 43 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
We're not going to do that for 43 minutes. We're not going to do that. Thank you.
Okay.
See, thank you so much. You know, this is why we all need each other. Perfect example of why we need each other. Okay, so in this wheel, which I'm not going to look at right now, each one of these are galactic birthrights, but I'm just going to power through them for fun to see if any of those might feel like you as we go through these. Do any of these feel like you? And if you do, kind of do a little hand raise, that would be kind of fun. And if you want more of it, also raise your hand. You bet. Multi-dimensional abundance. Love it. I'm going to start here. Do we want to rediscover our life? I wish I should have brought in little show and tell cards to show you. Do we want more life purpose and rediscovering who we are more and more every day? Who wants that? Define and making that happen. Don't worry about it. Oh well. Worry. Please, I'm gonna have an attack. Okay. All right. How about who wants more enhanced receptivity? And access to your shamanship and mediumship into the Akash, your Akashic records. Intuitive knowing. To embody your accomplishments. Yeah. You know, it doesn't matter that I've written 7 books and taught all over the world. You don't care. What is it going to do for me and why do I care? Embody your accomplishments today. Enlightening connection. Who wants that? That's, okay, can we go back? Enlightening connection. I'm going to save this for later. Mirror. Mirror. Mirror is inner reflection. Who wants more inner reflection? And who wants to be a better mirror for others? And who wants to look at the dimensionality of each one of these glyphs? And who wants to receive as a mirror from others? Right? Look how each of these energies hold multiple dimensional abundance. Each one of these is a lesson in itself. Look what mirror, I'm just looking at mirror again. Mirror does 3 things. Look at the dimensionality of this. 1, inner and outer reflection. You know, who am I? Did I do good today? Did I do bad today? How could I be better today? How could I write a better blurb tomorrow? And so on. Can I be a mirror of you to receive your information so I can learn something from it? And can I step in my own power and truth, another energy, where I can be truthful to you so you can see that as a mirror? Look at the multidimensionality of every single energy. This is why it's galactic. It's not limited to our earthly perceptions. And when you start working with each of these energies, and I'm going to teach you how in a second, when you start working with each of them, you start seeing the multi-dimensional depth of them. Remember, we're still playing the game now. Who wants to be in the perfect time, in the perfect place, and to have synchronicities? Remember, you're looking to see if you see yourself in these. Eagle. How are you looking at things from a broad perspective and a narrow perspective and every perspective in between? And where are the multidimensional nuances of that? We already talked about wizard, enhanced receptivity, Skywalker. Okay, you're getting the vibe about all of these 20 birthrights, right? At my booth, I'm going to invite you to not only, here's a wonderful little cheat sheet with each of them, and it will be on my new website, which is coming up. I mean, I don't want to get into a big story about that, but by the end of the summer, I think we'll have it all put together. It's so intense. It's unbelievable. But I want to talk about now. So does everybody want to? I had to step into what I want to talk about next. I put my paper down. Does everybody want to find out what their galactic birthright is, of which they are dominant in it? Does everybody want to know what that is? Okay. You're going to have to wait. Sorry. On a web page that I have put together, and it is ready for you right now, and here are cheat sheets of all the 20 birthrights and a little itty-bitty description that will fit on this card. We've already talked about the multidimensionality of each one, right? But here's a little cheat sheet. On this card right here, it says Galactic Spirit Free, capital F. You can go on there, and the automation is now up, finally, where you can find out your galactic birthright, and it also has a gift from me. I'm Magnetic Serpent, the initiate, the one who is initiated, again, one who can initiate you. I'm the teacher. I'm the one that's filled with passion in order to share this with you. I'm a catalyst for quickening. Look at the multidimensional aspects I just gave you of Serpent. I am the catalyst for my birthright, my dominant birthright, is I am the catalyst for quickening of this 5-dimensional evolutionary consciousness which we started from in the beginning. That's my job. And that's my birthright that I was born with. So what I'm going to invite you to do later is take one of the cards, kind of play with which one you think you are. I know you're not going to do that. You're just going to jump right in, right? I know. I would too. GalacticSpirit.com free, and you will get your galactic birthright of which you were dominant. But why are there 20 of them? Pretty cool, yeah? Oh, thank goodness it's done. Thank you, Peter, my webmaster. All of them, when you really have a look at each of them, and we briefly snapshotted quite a few, they are all what we aspire to, living in wholeness. And every day is an opportunity, because like any other astrology, I don't really like that word, but it gives us a point of reference from which I can explain something. Every day is one of these energies that we can have a look at to learn more about how the individual day today will influence our personal birthright. Is that clear? That's the punchline.
Except today's the day out of time.
I don't want to go there yet.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to make sure everybody understands what I just said. And I'm not getting any confirmation. Except Lori gets it. What about the people in the nosebleed seats? Pamela, how are you doing? Did you understand what I said?
Yeah, to be in alignment with all that there is. A dimension is defined only by our ability to recognize and honor and acknowledge what we really are. And so we're remembering what we forgot. And so to be aligned with that Skywalker, then we have to be attuned and aligned.
And that was brilliant. And this, my friend, is probably a Skywalker. Every single birthright is as valuable as each other. And and some of us are more, and this is kind of interesting too. I'm really comfortable with Skywalker. Pamela's really comfortable with Skywalker. What's your first name, sir?
Carlos. Carlos.
Carlos. Carlos is very comfortable with night. Multi-dimensional abundance. Okay. You know? Inquisitive mind. No, I don't understand it quite yet. Intuitive knowing. But I'm not going to tell you what you all are because I'm not a reader. There's too much information to learn. You know, I'm a good Skywalker. I can channel pretty well, but that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to initiate and be the catalyst. But do I want to get better at channeling information? You bet. So that's why I bring in Skywalker. Do I want to do better with intuitive knowing? You bet I do. And embodying my accomplishment, I bring in hands of accomplishment. Dog. We talked about dog already. You know, you don't have to read this in order to know what a lot of these intuitively mean. Dog. Loyalty. Your best friend. Love unconditionally. Start there. Okay, so this is the point that I want to make sure you met. And Pamela, you did a brilliant job. Thank you. I hope everybody heard her. Every day, and this is what I want to leave you with, in addition to you figuring out what your galactic energy is. Two more things, it's written on the paper. Every day is a different energy. On my Facebook page and on Galactic Spirit, coming soon, I'm going to share with you the energy of the day. And there's a calendar. I don't want to get into the mathematics of the calendar, but by the way, everybody, quickly, 30 days has September, April, June, and November. All the rest has 31. Is that not enough to screw up your mind?
Except for
February, which has 28.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, make it worse. Go ahead. The indigenous, remember we started with the star people? Remember we started talking about the star people? The star people had 13 months. They called them moons. They were watching the moons. And there were 28 days in the cycle. How did they know that? They watched the moons. This is all based upon mathematical, perfect, flawless mathematics. I don't want to, just briefly, flawless mathematics where there are 13 months called moons of 28 days. And when you do all these other maths and all these other mathematical alignments, it blows your mind how exciting it is, because everything lines is in perfect mathematical alignment. Remind me about 222 in 1 second, and I will come back to it later, maybe. Every day is a different energy that you can say to yourself, serpent, how does the day of planetary wizard influence me today? How is that going to put me in the perfect place, perfect time, and add up on the whole galactic wheel to bring me into a state of higher consciousness? Does that make sense? Every day, like astrology, is a new day. So Western astrology, and I took my first Western astrology class. I was like 30 when I took I'm 65 now, hence why I'm in the skincare business. Okay, That's how I make my living. This is a labor of love. Galactic Spirit's a labor of love. When you, from astrology, from Western astrology, I know a little bit of Chinese, a little bit about Chinese astrology. It really doesn't tell you what to do. It just gives you this information, and it was always really confusing to me. Okay, I have all this information. Yeah, it might make me feel better or worse, or know that this cycle is going to be, this bad cycle is going to come out, or this new cycle is coming soon. You know, this better cycle is coming soon. But it really didn't say, how is it going to improve my life right now? What is it going to do for me, and why do I care? When you take a look at the day of the energy of the day, and there's chakra alignments with it, there's I Ching alignments with it, there's rune alignments with it, and all of that will be on my website, and it's in the works right now, and where you can just go get a lot of that information for free. You can take that information and say, how does that relate to me right now, and how can I step into that superpower of the day to enhance my evolutionary consciousness? I'm so glad you did what you needed to do. Does everybody get that? That's the power of this work. And the more you pay attention to the daily energy on its respective day, the more it's going to do several things. One, you're going to say, oh my God, that is amazing how today is going to, I'm in the wrong room, that's why I got mixed up here. You didn't know I was mixed up, did you? Good. I was in the wrong place, so I was looking at the daily energy, and it just didn't jive with me.
Day at a time.
Okay, I'm not going to use this. I should have brought the one last year, because this, I'll get there. Don't worry. All right. So, every day that it is, how will the energy of dragon new begin today? If today was new, if today was dragon, new beginnings, new birth, nurturing, how do I redefine myself? How would that influence my innate birthright superpower, the one that you were born with? So, and then you can start seeing this, and the more you pay attention, the more you're going to see the synchronicities of the day, of the energy of the day, and how vital it is to you right now. And as you get to learn all these guys, magical powers, and you start seeing the multi-dimensional abundance, that's for Carlos, in each one of them, because it's not just the one little snapshot of the words. You're going to see, we talked about how mirror can be so multidimensional, and every single one has that dimensionality. Right now, just take the snapshot words. It's enough, because it's a lot. This is a lifetime study. This is a galactic study. This is a Skywalker study, because we are stepping into the unknown. How many thousands of years did it take us to be from being a monkey and move to standing up tall? How many evolutionary cycles, how many generations, how many millennia is going to take us as beings to move from as smart as we are now into as smart as the Pleiadians were when they seeded our planet? Look how I'm tying all this together. I hope you're following me. So, what did we learn so far? We learned that you have a superpower, and you can get it for free on galacticspirit.com/free with capital F. And you can look at it. How does that jive with you? Then you can also see all the other 20 superpowers. How do these jive with you? You can also go to my old website, because it's there. The new one's going to be much simpler. And learn what energy of the day it is. In fact, on the new website, which this piece isn't up there yet, but there's even going to be an interactive calendar, so you'll be able to even see what it is at a glance. Yay. And with little pop-ups, and it'll say what it is. How cool is that? It's brilliant. It's awesome. No wonder why my head's like a messed up short circuit. It's hard to keep it together, let me tell you. So, we've learned about the superpower, we've learned about the energy of the day, and guess what? There's also, and this is what this blurb said, which now I'm coming to the blurb. Where are we all right now? And you'll notice on the blurb it says, happy D-O-O-T. Doesn't it say that on there? Today is D-O-O-T. What the heck is that? Thank you for trusting to show up. Because it doesn't say anything. How would you know? You wouldn't know. Nobody knows. Today, yay, is happy day out of time. Cirrus, today. Oh, I got goosebumps. Today is where Cirrus rises on our horizon. How cool is that? You know how the sun rises every day and it dawns and dawns? Well, Cirrus is really, really, really far away. And instead of it circling every, however long, Cirrus rises every year, bless you for coming, comes every July 25th. Today is a day at a time. Which means that the mathematics that we talked about, just so you know, 28 times 13 moons, 13 months, is 364. One day left over, the day of celebration, the day of the Mayan and Indigenous New Year. All the Indigenous people knew when Cirrus rose. Today's that day. Are you crying?
Kinda.
It's pretty exciting. And it's even more exciting. Today we have a major shift in energy. We get a new book. We get a new year. Happy Galactic New Year, everybody. Yes. And it's a big one. 2021, remember 2012, 2021, and the magnificent numerology of that and more. Today, yesterday we were in the lunar storm cycle. Lunar happens to mean I'm just giving you this. It's a whole system. I don't have time to teach the whole system, just giving you the facts. Lunar storm. Lunar is 2. What does 2 represent in anything?
Duality.
Very good. Duality. Conflict. What do you think? Look how we're doing this intuitively. What do you think? You're too smart for me. What do you think storm means? We didn't talk about it. I said I don't want to talk about that one yet, remember? What do you think the storm birthright means? Have a whirl.
Instability.
Excellent. That's not the word I used, but that's perfect.
Chaos.
Chaos. What else?
Static energy.
Static and almost. Static. I'm gonna come back. What else? Unrest. What does it feel? Okay. Storm. Think of the storm. The calm before the storm. The eye of the storm. The calm before the storm. Storm is, my language, is all of yours. I call it breakdown to breakthrough. You got the calm before the storm. You have this buildup of this horrible static. There you go, static, electric, energy. And then we have these booms, right? And these electromagnetic like intensities. And we are broken down to break through. And today we enter the seed. What is, okay, lunar is 2, seed, 2, duality, storm, the duality of the storm. Today, happy Galactic New Year. Electric seed. What is that about? Give it a whirl. New beginnings. Exactly right. What else we got? I'm going to call on Pamela in a second. She's ready. She's just holding back. What else we got? By the way, the mind, in the teachings, in what I call the ascensions, our minds are electric, our body is magnetic. Anybody ever heard that before? Joe Dispenza. What are we doing? Oh, I'm so glad this came up. What are we doing as part of this process? We're combining our electric minds with our magnetic bodies. What happens when we make electromagnetic frequency? Pamela?
Well, we're able to have the synergy and the fusion. And when they were talking about the eye of the storm, what happens with Cyrus is the Osiris comes, the masculine and the feminine
Okay,
deal
Deb.
with the fusion. So where we were is where we are. And we're able to really deal with, before we came out in form, because we're not formed, we're able to tap in.
Go with that. I want a direct question.
Okay.
That we are not formed. What are we?
Spirit.
Spirit.
And spirit means process. We are the process of all that is and ever was and will be.
Halfway there. Beautiful. I would love to dialogue with you forever. I'm gonna cut to the chase. Beautiful. Electromagnetic frequencies makes spirit. What is spirit? Spirit is light. I'm gonna break it down. I've learned how to break it down simple because otherwise you lose people. It's really hard. That's what I'm working on. That's what's taking me so long to be able to chunk it down. Oh, you and I can go there, girlfriend. All right. All right. Electromagnetic frequency is light. So when we take the power of the brain, remember when we talked about before, this is the first time in conscious evolution, I'm repeating myself because I want you to get this, where we can use the power of our minds to shift our consciousness, and the Galactic Spirits gave us these tools every day to add to our personal consciousness, to engage our minds, using Pamela's, to say we are not form, because we're not. We're shimmy, shimmy, Cocoa Puffs, all of these molecules thinking that we're form. Earlier in the talk, we talked about what is that stuff in between our DNA. It's the empty voids that's waiting to be awakened, and those are the voids of light that we are engaging our minds, electric, mental, magnetic bodies, electromagnetic frequencies, and now this year, happy day out of time, we're moving into electric, more mind, seed. What did you say, rebirth?
New beginnings.
New beginnings. Planting the seeds of 2021, the opposite of 2012. We've got the master number right there. Into, oh, I got goosebumps, I hope you do too. Master number, that's what we've been going through the last 2 years. 11, 1 and 1 duality, we just finished the year of duality. And we're stepping into seed, into transcendence. Beginning, starting the mental process of seeding this evolutionary step in humankind for multi-dimensional abundance, Carlos. Breathe into that. Is anybody excited? It's unbelievable. And I am magnetic serpent. You are going to learn who you are. Magnetic, and everybody, you will notice when you go there you're going to see, I don't have it here. In the book I do. Never mind. On the top, you will see on your glyph a series of dots and bars. You don't need to know this, but we have a few minutes. I want to share it with you. Dots and bars. And those dots and if you have two symbols, binary code. I mean, the more you go into this, the more exciting it gets. You have dots and bars, binary code. And when you read who you are, you will see a dot, a series of dots or series of bars on top of your glyph, which is one of the nuances of that binary code. What is DNA? Binary code. You all excited? All right. And there's 1 through 13 of those series of dots and bars. We already talked about number 2, duality. We talked 3 is electric. That's where we are now. Look how it was 2 and moved in 3 because today's a day at a time. This big transition into new consciousness. I happen to be magnetic serpent. I'm number 1. I have 1 dot above my serpent glyph. You will see yours. The 1 dot means magnetic. So I am the magnetic facilitator. What a privilege. Of initiating you for the catalyst of quickening, which is what serpent is about. Do y'all kind of get that? So when you look at what your galactic, your natal, your innate galactic birthright is, the longer you practice looking at these, the energies of the day, on the energies of the day, the more you are going to step into why you were destined to be here and have the birthright that you have. Does that make sense? And why are you all sitting here right now? Because you didn't know what the heck I wrote. I didn't know what the heck I wrote. And it certainly wasn't clear about this, was it? I'm totally off with what it said, don't you think?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. What matters is you are here to be a catalyst of change, to hear this information on this profound day, and to step into your own power. As magnetic serpent, thank you for sharing this opportunity with me to be the catalyst for change.
Thank you.
For you to step into your own power. For you to be the mirror for others as you beam your electromagnetic frequency, because that's what we're doing. As we go through each of these energies every day, we are stepping up our electromagnetic frequency and beaming our light brighter. And being that beacon for evolutionary consciousness. I'm going to close with gratitude. Thank you for being that. Om Tat Sat. You ever heard that before? That's the Sanskrit statement that says, I am that. I am that I am. I am that. Om Tat Sat. You are that. I am that. The way the Mayans say namaste. Do you know what namaste means, everybody, really?
Surrendering to the ultimate virtue.
Yes. The light within me honors the light within you. The Mayans say in Lakesh. I am another yourself. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Woo! Brightest blessings, everybody. Make sure make sure you take one of these.